This video contains content that may be confronting.
Australia's most notorious and prolific paedophile priest, Gerald Ridsdale, has died after being in prison for over 30 years. 90-year-old Ridsdale was convicted 8 separate times of sexually abusing over 70 known victim survivors across Victoria. Reporter Jessie Thompson joins us now from Melbourne. Hi, Jessie. So what's been the reaction to his death?
Well, Ros, as you said, it's been confirmed that Ridsdale died in a medical unit of the prison system where he spent the last 3 decades of his life. He leaves an abhorrent legacy of young lives ruined by sexual abuse, as well as serious questions about the Catholic Church and the lengths that it went to cover up some of that offending. Now, Ridsdale was born in 1934 in the Wimmera region of Western Victoria. He attended a seminary at the age of about 20, and by about 26 he was ordained a priest. And it was later revealed that some of his earliest offending dated back to about this time. It wasn't until about the 1960s that a complaint was made to the Catholic Church, and it was then that Ridsdale was shifted from parish to parish about 16 times over the course of about 3 decades, as various people within the church tried to cover up his crimes. It was later revealed during the Royal Commission into Institutional Responses to Child Sexual Abuse that multiple members of the church were aware of his offending but had allowed it to continue. Now, Victoria Police opened an investigation in the early 90s, and in about 1993 Ridsdale was convicted and sentenced to prison after pleading guilty to dozens of charges related to 72 individuals, mainly in central and southwest Victoria. That made him one of the most prolific and most notorious child abusers in the nation's history. But victims continued to come forward over the following years, including in about 2023 when he was, as you mentioned, sentenced for an 8th time. Now, a courtroom in that year heard that Ridsdale was in chronic pain, had atrophying muscles and weakness of limbs, and was likely to go into palliative care, so he'd been unwell for some time. But survivors of his abuse have told, in the wake of the news of his death, have told the ABC that his death means nothing to them and have urged others impacted by his crimes to seek help if needed. The Royal Commission also found that Ridsdale's victims likely stretched into the hundreds, and it's believed that some of those people may have taken their own lives. So there may be further victims out there in the community over which Ridsdale wasn't offended, and others who are still alive obviously endure a devastating trauma that lasts to this day. And Ros Ridsdale was survived by a family in the Ballarat region.
Jessie, thank you. And if the story has raised any issues for you, you can get help by calling the National Sexual Assault Counselling Helpline on 1800 RESPECT, which is 1800 737 732. And if you or someone you know is experiencing distress, please contact Lifeline on 13 11 14.